Hey, what's up, everybody? Let's go ahead and jump in and talk about angle relationships. The instructions read, give all relationships between angle 1 and angle 2. All right. Well, number 1 in the diagram for number 1, we're talking about angle 1 and angle 2 right here. Now, they're both on a straight angle. And we all know that a straight angle or a straight line or a line measures 180 degrees. So there's a few relationships. The first thing we can say about angle 1 and angle 2 is that they're adjacent. Okay, so we could say adjacent. We could also say because they when you put them together, they add to equal 180, that they're supplementary. Okay. Now, the best name to call these because they're both adjacent and supplementary is linear pair. So for number 1, the best way to describe this relationship is a linear pair. But adjacent and supplementary could also be said about number 1. Okay, let's take a look at number 2. Now, number two is speaking about angle 1 and angle 2 right here. Now, on the left side of the diagram, as we can see right here, they've already identified a right angle. Well, technically speaking, because of this straight line right here, just like we discussed in number 1, it's 180 degrees. Well, if this part is already 90 degrees, then the other half all the way together, which is all it is also 90 degrees. Now, that's important because angle 1 and angle 2, this is what we would call an example of complementary angles. Okay. Now, complementary angles are basically complementary angles are basically two angles who add to equal 90. Okay. So we could also say that they are adjacent. That's another way to describe these two angles. And that's it. Adjacent, and they are complementary. Okay. So that's it for number 2. Let's take a look at number 3. Now, number 3, it says angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical angles. If angle 1 is 64 degrees, then angle 2 is 64 degrees. The measure of angle 2 is equal to 64 degrees. And vertical angles, the reason that angle 2 is equal to 64 is because vertical angles are congruent. Okay, that's what that symbol means, congruent. And congruent means equal to or same as. Number 4, angle Q and angle R are complementary angles. If angle R is 73 degrees, find the measure of angle Q. Well, complementary means that they add to equal 90. Add to equal 90 degrees. So angle Q plus angle R equals 90. And we just got done saying we don't know what angle Q is. So that's X. Angle R is 73. And that's equal to 90. To solve for angle Q, measure of angle Q is equal to 90 minus 73, which is, 27? Not 27, but 17. Excuse me. So measure of angle Q is 17. Okay. All right, and number 5. In the diagram to the left, the measure of angle AED, which is all of this, is 152 degrees. All right, well, we know that this little piece here is 90 because of that box. So to find that to find this slither right here, FED or DEF, we would have to do 152 minus 90. Yes, what's that, 16? So, I mean 6, excuse me. So that's 62. So we know that, once again, let's put this back. All this right here is 152. We now know that this little piece here is 62. We already knew that this was 90. And what else? If we can also take a look at this piece here, that the rest of this is also 90. So if we do 90 minus 62, that's an 8. So that's 28. This piece here is 28. And this piece here is also 28 because those two angles are vertical. And if we use this whole thing right here, let's get rid of some of that. If we use this whole piece right here, we know that that is all 180. So if we did 180 minus 28, that'll tell us the other piece, which is, that's a 2, that's 17, and it becomes a 5, so 152. Now, let's just go ahead and answer these questions in the diagram. And for number 5, the measure of AEC, which is this slice right here. So AEC is 28 degrees. Okay, CEB is that piece, which is 152 degrees. And then they're asking us about FEC. Now, let's see here. FEC. So that's all of this. So FEC is 28 plus 90, which is 118. There it is. All right, ladies and gents. Holla at y'all later.